Got it.
Hey, everybody. Happy Tuesday. How is everyone? It is a splendid day to do a migraine strategy call. I'm just making sure I give Facebook 2 seconds here to catch up and make sure that we are broadcasting on live so that everyone can see us. If you are on, give me a quick hello. Let me know you're here. Tell me where you are watching from. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Debbie Waidl. I am a functional migraine health coach specialist. I run this group and I'm here to help you find your version of migraine freedom without having to continuously use, whether it's over-the-counter medications or prescription medications or doing those risky nerve surgeries, having hysterectomies, spending tons of money at the chiropractor and acupuncturist and massage therapist and all of those things that we're all doing, right? Because we're in pain. I did those things for 10 long years. I know exactly what that is like. So when I found my migraine freedom, which I had been migraine free for 10 years, I wanted to make sure that I created a space that I could support women to be able to do it much faster than what I did. You know, I don't want women suffering with migraines for decades. It's time for all of you to get your lives back and actually be able to live and enjoy yourselves versus managing, right? Managing your day in pain. So today, I have a special guest with me who's going to share her migraine freedom journey and her story with you, because I think it's super important that you can all see that this is possible, that there is hope, you know, that this isn't me just talking, saying, oh yeah, I can help you. This is me actually showing you that women have been supported and helped through the different strategies and programs that we do have. So Rachel, thank you for being here today.
Hi, Debbie. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So Rachel, just so everyone knows, is a graduate of the Freedom From Migraine Method. Her close family is her husband. She has a daughter who is 19 and a son who is 13, who was her tech help before we got started to make sure she was all set and ready to go for this call. So we appreciate that. Rachel's a full-time wife, a mom, alongside of taking care of her mom as well. And she loves being by the sea and spending quality time with friends and family, which now you can do, right? Now you can actually spend that quality time with them.
Definitely. And we certainly have, as a family, noticed a change in the amount of time that I'm able to spend as well. The children have felt that they've got their mum back, which is great.
I love it. I love it. Hey, it looks like Jamie is on and Barbie's on over there supporting us. Amazing. Hello, ladies. Thanks for popping on today. Barbie, thanks for being here. So let's kind of start up at the beginning from when you found us, Rachel. So, you know, you had migraines for, remind me, how long did you have migraines for?
For about 25 years.
25 years. Okay. And then you were online. You obviously found the Women's Migraine Freedom Group, you know, kind of searching for relief. And medication was definitely part of your journey. So when you found our group, kind of what were you hoping to gain from the Women's Migraine Freedom Group?
I was hoping to gain, well, to one, manage the migraines, two, hopefully be rid of them, and three, feel more normal again. I was fed up. I was tired, miserable, you know, living from one migraine to the next, trying to just counteract it all the time. And I just reached that point where I needed to do something.
Absolutely.
And I just wanted to try a way that wasn't pumping tablets inside me. I didn't want to be dependent on the medication, because the medication was then having effects and making me feel worse, or you'd feel better and then you would hit a low again. So I just wanted to try and do something for me, really, because I spend all my time looking after everybody else. I kind of got stuck in that rut and I needed to get myself better.
Absolutely. And I think that's such a common theme for any of you who watch any of the other wonderful interviews that we do. I believe they're in guides, either 3, 4, or 5 in this group, one of those guides. So many women say to me that it's time for them, you know, that they haven't put themselves first for years, that And that's the way it is, right? Our kids come first when they're young, and, our spouses, and then our parents when they need our support. And we want to do that. We love doing that. I think that's, kind of our wiring, right? To be the ones taking care. But then unfortunately, we don't take care of ourselves. And the next thing we know, like you did, you found yourself at your doctor prescribing medication to you that just wasn't working, right? And you were taking medication on a daily basis. Is that correct?
Yes, I was. Yeah. And it was an overnight medication that was meant to make the migraines not come on overnight, to make you feel better in the morning. But all it really did was knock me out. And then I felt like I'd been hit by a bus when I woke up in the morning. There was no clearness of mind. And I was like walking around in a fog.
So you had that migraine hangover every morning. If you're going to have a hangover in the morning, you should at least enjoy the night before, right?
Exactly. My husband would have the drink and I'd end up with a hangover. It wasn't fair.
No, it's not fair. It's not. Plus, I think if I'm not mistaken, you were taking over the counters as well, right? To try to manage during the day.
Yeah. A combination of paracetamol and codeine, which over here is Migraleave. And then if that didn't touch it, I would then top up with a bit of ibuprofen.
Man.
And it just goes into a cycle.
Yeah, I was going to say quite a bit of medication where you're on this like hamster wheel where you keep taking and taking to try to end that pain. And for those of you that are new to the group, we are not anti-medication in this group, but what we are is a group that really wants to focus on you healing your body so that you don't need that medication anymore. Because there is a price to be paid for every medication we take, and we have to weigh that price, right? I took it for 10 long years. And, Rachel, I'm sure you remember when you joined us in the Freedom From Migraine Method that we told you not to stop your medication right away. You had to get your body ready to be able to do that, because we don't want you in massive pain and just say, that's it, no more meds, right? So you have to take them till you can get your body ready, and then you slowly wean off of those. So what was kind of that tipping point for you? Was there this big tipping point that, you just decided that you really just needed another way besides the medications?
I did, because I'd already sort of taken myself off what the doctor had prescribed me, because it made me feel so rough. And then I did have a bout of getting bad migraine. It was constant. So I went to take it again. And when I'd woken up feeling like I'd been hit by a bus, I thought, no, I'm not taking that anymore. So I was reliant on the painkillers.
Yeah.
And as you know, I was hit with major family sadness, and I was struggling. I was struggling to get everybody through that, get myself through that. I suddenly got plunged into being a carer for my mum. I mean, I thought, I knew I would have to step in at one stage, but I thought I had another sort of 5-6 years so beforehand. And I just felt that I couldn't go on doing it all feeling like I was feeling. I had to do something for me. And if that meant people had to give me time the family had to have me say no.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And that had to be a really hard time for you to realize, as much as you wanted to be there for your mom because she needed you and your family, which you still were there, but you needed to take some of that time back for you, because if you didn't, then the long term of you trying to help people, it just was not going to be, you weren't going to be able to do it. You weren't going to be able to do it.
It wasn't. And the main thing I've learned is that I need to take that me time. I need to take that time out, whether it's to go just sit quietly and have a book, or do some crochet, or have a walk around the block, or just plan to pop away to the coast for a night or two, just to get a change of scenery.
Yeah.
And it's allowing yourself to do that, which really helps. But without the program, I wouldn't be doing that.
It's hard, isn't it? It's very hard in the beginning to give yourself that time. I think that's funny enough. Women, when I talk to them about different ways that we can support them and how we can help them, one of the biggest things everyone's always worried about is the food. How many food changes am I going to have to make? Am I going to have to make a ton of food changes? But when we start working with women, funny enough, I think the hardest thing for women is finding that time for themselves.
Definitely.
Not finding time in the day. They can find time in the day to do everything, but finding time in the day for themselves.
Yes.
But what a difference it's made for you. And I know quite a few times throughout the program, you mentioned that, you mentioned the things that you were doing for you, and you could just tell how happy you were that you took that time.
Yeah. It's like when Erin did her mindfulness, she'd say, stop, do the breathing. Just the breathing at the beginning, I'd sort of catch myself, right, I need to just realign myself. And Erin's voice in my head, do your breath.
Erin's going to love hearing that her voice is in your head.
It is, yeah.
I love it. I love it. And we've got Wanda who jumped on too. Ladies, let me know if you have any questions for Rachel, please. You have her attention right now. So if there's anything we can answer for you, please let us know. So in relation to medications now,
yes,
how does that look different for you compared to before? I should tell everyone, Rachel decided to join us in the Freedom From Migraine Method, which is one of the ways that we support women to migraine freedom. It is kind of our main program, the program that typically works for most, not for everyone. And so obviously Rachel went through this time with us to learn how to find her migraine freedom. So fast forward to today, how do things look different for you?
It looks very different. Because my head's a lot clearer, I can tell when a migraine's coming on. I very rarely wake up with one now. And if I do, it tends to start in my shoulders. So I whip the TENS machine out, pop that on, and 9 times out of 10, that sorts it out. Use the salt. I'm still doing the salt day and night. And if I feel I need it, coming up to when I know my hormones are going to be a bit out of line, I'll take extra salt to balance that out.
Absolutely.
And it's just sort of occasionally normal paracetamol if I need it.
Yeah, so able to get off of those prescriptions.
Definitely.
And then just use an over-the-counter when absolutely necessary. When
really necessary. So if I was feeling really rough in the morning and knew I had to get through the day because of commitments, I can do it. If I'm home and I haven't got those commitments, I tend to use more. We have it's the gel forehead grip that's very cold. They're called Cool and Soothe. So I can go and sit with one of those on quietly, with the salt and the water, and that tends to sort me out. Whereas previously I must be knocked out.
Absolutely. And I think that's the key important thing there is as you find your migraine freedom and your body continues to heal, you used to need things up here to support you, the strong meds, tons of meds, going to bed. And as your body heals, your threshold is increasing, your inflammation is decreasing. And as the inflammation decreases, some of these natural things that we can use to manage pain actually work for us. And then as time keeps going on, you'll even need them less and less because those migraines won't be showing up at all. Because I'm sure you're noticing that the migraines are showing up less, the severity is less, the duration's less, and the frequency is less. And, that just takes time. That takes time to go from here, the amount of migraines down to here. But it's so nice when there's so many women that have come into the program and said, oh gosh, if I take, acetaminophen or ibuprofen, it doesn't touch anything. But now, after using the program, if you need to take one, it actually works.
It does its job.
Exactly. And that's what we want, because let's face it, we are human, right? We are human beings. We do have families. We do have crazy busy lives. And there's going to be some days where we can't treat ourselves the best we should. And a migraine may show up, where the triggers that we come into contact with are more than what our threshold is. And that's just normal life. Sometimes we do it to ourselves. Let's just say, somebody in your family is getting married and, you're up late and you're stressed because it's exciting and you eat different food and you have a drink and, all of those things push you close to your threshold. So that's totally normal. Everyone, let me know in the comments if that makes sense with the threshold, because I think this is a really key important thing for everyone to hear, that when we talk about migraine freedom, we have the control over what is happening, but at the same token, we're also giving our body time to heal and learning new tools that we can use to manage the pain as it continually dissipates, which is what Rachel's doing, which is amazing. So you feel 100% different. Your family thinks that you're finally back. They're so happy to have you back. As
we've been having games nights, and just, I guess because I'm not so tired, I stay up that little bit later, so I'm not the one going to bed at 8 o'clock and leaving the children downstairs.
Don't you love it when they go to bed, when you go to bed before them?
Yes, it's just complete. I'm more relaxed, happier, not worrying about when the next migraine's coming, or not worrying that I'm not going to be able to cope with it. I think that's not worried that we're going to miss out because I'm going to be feeling too rough, or we're going to have to come home early from somewhere. It's just, it's just an amazing feeling, really. You just sort of feel that you've got yourself back. And there were other signs as well, because I used to get quite itchy, and that because I gave up the sugar, that stopped.
Yeah. Because you were able to just keep reducing that inflammation, which really just knocks everything back into place, brings your body back to its healing point, and it's able to do what it needs to do instead of constantly giving you symptoms, right? Because all these things are symptoms. The head pain, the nausea, the dizziness, any itching, any allergies. It's your body's way of talking to you and saying, hey, Rachel, something's going on and I don't like it.
Yeah. But then you ignore it, don't you? Because you just get on with life and try and push through. But eventually something's got to give. And I was just so grateful for finding the program through Facebook, really.
Yeah, and we're so grateful that you found it through Facebook as well. I'm just double checking the comments, making sure I'm not missing anything. But yeah, JB is saying she's noticing the same thing about herself in the threshold. Previously anything used to push her over the edge, over that threshold. But now, it really takes a lot of things to push her over the edge. And that's exactly what we're talking about. So I just wanted to touch really quick before, Rachel, I let you give your last words of wisdom to everyone. I just want to touch really quick on electrolytes, because I know that this video will definitely, it'll definitely bring on some comments. So I'm going to save myself some time and explain here. So it is extremely important for migraine freedom to ensure that we all have electrolyte balance. And that electrolyte balance looks different in each and every person, which is why it's so hard in a group of 3,000 plus women that we have in the Women's Migraine Freedom Group to be able to tell each and every one of you what the right thing is for you to do as far as food, what the right thing for you to do is, as far as exercise, as far as electrolytes, which we're talking about salts here, as far as sleep. Every single person, there's a foundational approach that we follow, but every single person needs something a little bit different. And every single person is missing something different. So if you're curious, if you do have electrolyte balance, if you are curious if electrolyte balance is something that could be off in you and something that you need support with to be able to find your migraine freedom, then just pop that in the comments, let us know, and a member of the team will reach out to you, because we would be really remiss if we just gave general information right now that could actually increase someone's migraines. So we definitely don't want to do that, because we really have to look at the overall whole picture in order to be able to help you do all that. So please make sure that you're safe, make sure that you're doing things that are right for you, and let us know if you have any questions on that, because we want to move you forward, not backwards. We want to make sure that you're finding more migraine-free days and not adding more on, which can happen when you use Dr. Google, which can happen when you just go search things online or read a generic book and start following advice that's meant for one person and not meant for you. I've gotten many messages in my Facebook Messenger saying, hey, I followed something that was online and I feel worse. I'm like, well, that's because it was very general advice. So we do our best when we do anything in here to make sure that when we do give advice, it is things that will support everyone. Like, let's face it, Rachel brought up sugar, so I'll use that one as an example. There's no one in here that's going to get hurt by giving up sugar. Nobody. Nobody needs it. It's not something that would ever hurt any of us to give up sugar. So those are the kind of things we talk about to be able to help move you forward. Let me know if that makes sense, everyone. All right, Rachel, you have been a massive inspiration to all. You came into the program, you grabbed it, by the horns. You worked through some times that were tough. You had a lot going on. You had a lot of people that were, didn't feel well during the program. We all had our COVID issues throughout, the last year or so. So you're busy and you managed to do all this at that same time. So what are your last words of wisdom for women who are watching right now saying, either I don't have the time, medication's easier, even though it doesn't take away the pain, what is it you'd like to say to them about your experience in your migraine freedom?
Just do it. Join the program, make the time. I mean, I would do the modules when maybe I was having my breakfast, or I'd make a cup of coffee or have a cup of tea or a glass of water and sit down and work through my modules there. So it will fit into your day. It doesn't take hours, but it's so worth giving yourself those minutes every day to chip away at it, because the outcome is so worth it. It's the best thing I've done. It's the best thing I've done for me. It's the best thing I've done for my family. And you've always got those tools you can fall back on.
Yeah.
And you will know, your body will speak to you clearer, because you will be more inclined to know and understand it. And it does make you sit up and take notice.
Mm-hmm.
So my advice would be, don't suffer. Just get on board and do it. I wish I'd found it 10 years ago.
I wish you had too.
Yeah,
I wish you had too.
It's one of those things that you get. Life's busy for everyone. There's people out there with much more busier circumstances than what I've got, but just try and just give yourselves that time. Even if it's just 10, 15, 20 minutes to sit down, look at the modules, have them, especially the videos. I used to have them. I'll be in the kitchen doing something with a video going in the background.
Yeah, we tried to make it nice and easy for you. Exactly. So that you don't have to watch.
No. So I could have it, and then if I wanted to replay it or I missed a bit, I could do so. It's just so worthwhile doing.
Well, you look amazing. I wish I could have, a snapshot of the first time I speak with you and a snapshot today.
That was awful, wasn't it?
I say that all the time, but I would never do that to you ladies, unless you're willing to share the photo. But and it's not that you didn't look well. It's just that you could see the emotion. The emotion is different on all of you. You can see it in the eyes and how you talk, that you really don't have any hope. I think that's the best word. And I think Kim and a couple other people have used that word recently in some trainings and videos that we've done, but it really does boil down to that word, right? You come and you don't have hope. And we hope that by doing these videos, we are giving everyone hope that, there is a way. And we do so many of the videos because we want you to realize that it's not just one kind of person. It's not just someone that's like Rachel that can get migraine freedom and no one else can. It's not just like someone like Kim who can get migraine freedom and no one else can, but it's women from all over the world, all different stages in their life, kids, no kids, taking care of parents, working, not working, all different kinds of migraines. There's hope for all of you. So Rachel, I really appreciate your time today. You've given quite a gift to the group, and I so appreciate you sharing your story with everyone.
Well, thank you. I mean, I couldn't have done it without you and Erin and your team. I mean, it was absolutely amazing to find you and to join the group. Thank you. You
are most welcome. You did all the hard work. We get to reap the benefit at the end to see that smiling face, and that is the best part about it.
Yes, I certainly haven't been smiling a lot.
I absolutely love it. I love it. And I hope you stay in the Women's Migraine Freedom Group so you can keep sharing all of your amazing stories with everyone and letting us know what you're doing, enjoying your life. Because that, again, that is the best part, is watching the outcome of all of the hard work that you put in, because you did put in hard work and you made some changes. But that work has really, brought you to where you are today, which again is just the best thing to watch, the best part of my job and why I do this every day.
The one thing I would say to start off with, I felt as if I was being very selfish, putting myself first. So if anybody's out there worrying that they're feeling selfish, don't, because the rewards that everybody gets is worth you taking that time. And really, you're not being selfish, you're doing it for you, which is what you should do.
Absolutely. I think that was probably one of the best pieces of advice I have heard in so long, because I'm sure if your husband and your kids were right behind you right now, they would say 100% you weren't selfish, and that they love the fact, because they have you back, as you said, they have you back.
You heard what Mark said when you spoke to him. He felt useless because he didn't know how to help. He didn't know what to do. Yeah. And he would quite often say to me, "Have you done your module today? What are you doing now?" So it was, if you can get them on board as well, it is important. And it's taken me ages to realize, but you need to look after you to be able to look after everybody else.
Absolutely. And your husband was wonderful to be on the call, to be a part of your journey. And I love it when people tell me that their spouse or that a loved one is, kind of that reminder there, not a pain, but a reminder of, okay, did you do everything you're supposed to do today? Or would you like to go for a walk with me? Or can I do this with you? I know there's so many families where the major support person or the loved one, they're like right there next to them. They're doing the program right alongside them, all the parts that obviously pertain to them. And then the family is, become more healthy, so what a gift to give to your loved ones as well, because I'm sure your way of cooking has shifted a little bit, and maybe, you're walking a little bit more. So what a great example to give to the whole family as to how you can start yourself off being healthy so that you don't have those issues later on in life. Because this really isn't about migraine freedom, ladies. This really is about reducing the inflammation to give you overall health and wellness, so that we keep that inflammatory load down as close to a green as possible, and not getting us up to a red where we're worrying about heart disease and Alzheimer and cancer and strokes and all those other things. So not only is Rachel found her migraine freedom, but now she's found her health and doesn't have, such a concern in those areas as well. So I love it when the doctors come back and say, whatever you're doing, just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. Because
funny enough, I had a health check and that everything was fine.
Yeah.
They were born and happy.
That's amazing.
So
that is amazing.
Had they done that blood pressure check 18 months ago, it might have been
it would have been a little bit different, just a little bit different.
But we're all right.
Well, Donna has jumped down and said, thank you so much for sharing, as well as Barbie and Rebecca's on, and Helen is watching. You've got, and Joe is on. You've got quite the crowd. You've got a bunch from the US watching and a bunch from the UK watching. Wow. That's amazing. Yeah, because it's 5:30 for you ladies. So we're going to let you go so that you can enjoy your dinner. Again, thank you so much for your time. Thank you to everyone who was watching today. If anyone's watching on the replay, please let us know if you have any questions, if you have any concerns, if there's anything we can support you with, we are here. And we will see you all next week for our next migraine strategy call at 12 p.m. Eastern or 5 p.m. British summertime. All right, everybody, here's to your migraine-free day. Have a great day, and we'll see you in the group. Take care.
Thanks, Debbie. Bye.
Bye-bye.